improvement nurses covering for City of Toronto homes. I do cover Castleview, Lakeshore, Westburn, and Kipling Acres. So welcome. Thank you for joining us today. So Salian and I will be covering. Do you want me to share my? Did you share,
Yeah, I'm
Celia?
sharing. Can you see? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can share.
Can you see? Okay. You want to share?
Yeah, maybe. So that way I
Okay,
have a
sure. Go ahead.
control. Can everybody see that? No?
Yes, we can see.
Okay. So while I'm talking, I'm gonna turn off my camera.
Okay.
So like I was saying, Celian
Can
and
you
I
max?
will.
Sorry, Franca, can you maximize your screen and do
Oh,
like a slideshow?
sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. There we go. Um, I will actually put it on. Um,
Slideshow
yeah.
on the top.
Ooh, where? Why am I not seeing it? Oh, ha, ha, ha. There we go. Yay. Okay. Oh, how Oops. So as I was saying, Celiet and I will be discussing drug reordering and drug record book, emergency box, after hours, Medisystem collaborative medication reconciliation, aka MCMR. And then Celia will go through the hazardous policy update. And then there's also a few reminders that I will be going through. And then in the end, as Celia said, we'll do some Q&A. So drug reordering and drug record book. So there are two ways to reorder. You could either reorder through PCC, um, or you could use the reorder sheet form. So if you're reordering from PCC, you have to write on the reorder form or apply the medication sticker that you are reordering. Once you've done that, place the form in the waiting section of the drug record book binder. You don't have to fax the pharmacy. Once you receive the medications, nurse will cross-reference the shipping report and sign off on the reorder form, confirming that all meds have been received. So once all the meds have been received on that list, you then move that sheet onto the receive section. If you're using the reorder form, you can write all the details or use the sticker. You date it, you sign it, and fax the form to pharmacy. Place a form in the waiting section of the drug record book binder. And then once you've received it, cross-reference the shipping report and sign off on the reorder form, confirming that all meds have been received. And again, once all the medications on that sheet has been received, you move it to the received section. So as per FLTCA, it says that every licensee of a long-term care home shall ensure that a drug record established, maintained, and kept in the home for at least 2 years, in which is recorded the following information in respect of every drug that is ordered and received in the home. So the date the drug is ordered, the signature of the person placing the order, the name, strength, and quantity of the drug, the name of the place from which the drug is ordered, the name of the resident for whom the drug is prescribed, the prescription number where applicable, the date the drug is received in the home, the signature of the person acknowledging receipt of the drug on behalf of the home. So PCC, ordering through PCC does not meet the legislative requirement because it only tracks medication that were reordered online. Most medications in PCC auto receive. Shoot, what is happening? So it wouldn't have the name of the nurse receiving the medications. And it requires registered staff to receive every single medication order every week. So it is necessary to complete the medication reorder sheet. So this is what the reorder sheet looks like. It's used to track all yeah. Hello? Hello? Can everybody
You're
hear
good.
me?
We can hear you. Yeah,
Okay.
we can hear
we're good.
you.
All right. Okay, so it's used to track all medications that have been reordered in PCC. Upon reordering and receiving medications, nursing staff need to sign and date. Writing received is not acceptable. You need to
Oh,
initial,
okay. Okay, now good.
and then the form
Yeah.
is kept in the drug
Huh?
record book binder.
Mhm.
It serves as the drug record book for new orders if it's not if you're not using the DRB printout. It's used for new orders when digi order form needs to be faxed. It's also used as downtime procedure for reordering, like when the internet is down. It's used to fax for medication reorders that can't be ordered through PCC, and it's used to document receival of medications ordered through PCC. So, medications that are received include, so for the weekly medication strips, it'll come with shipping report. These should be signed and put in the drug record book binder. Other items with daily delivery, it comes with a packing slips indicating the item sent. It's a College of Pharmacists requirement, and it does not replace the reorder sheet. So signing off the packing slips does not mean that it's okay to just leave the reorder sheet blank. So every item listed on the DRB should be signed off and received by section of DRB, including date. If there are items listed in the drug record book that has not been received, pharmacy should be notified and items circled. If a medication is listed on the packing slip but has not been delivered, but it's not in the delivery bags, you have to notify pharmacy. And if there's a medication in the bag that's not listed on the packing slip, also pharmacy has to be notified. So the regulation states that every licensee of a long-term care home shall ensure that no drug is used by or administered to a resident in the home unless a drug has been prescribed for a resident. The licensee shall ensure that drugs are administered to residents in accordance with the direction for use specified by the prescriber. So knowing this is why we do not use communal lactulose. Okay. Medication should be labeled and used for an individual resident. When dispensed from pharmacy, each bottle is clearly labeled with the resident's name, dosage, and instructions. It's to ensure that we meet the regulatory compliance. It minimizes the risk of administering the wrong dose, and it's used for accurate billing because using a shared stock bottle makes it difficult to track individual usage, and it can lead to discrepancies in resident billing and potential overcharges. So now we're going to go through e-box or emergency box. So emergency box items are used when you receive an order for a resident and it needs to be administered immediately. Or until the medication arrives with regular delivery from pharmacy or after hours. Emergency box is located on one unit only of the home, and the emergency narcotic are located in the med cart in the narcotic bin on the same unit. Home is required to let pharmacy know when a medication is taken from the emergency box by completing the emergency box replacement form. Medication administered from the e-box must be entered on the EMR by the nurse so the administration can be documented. Emergency replacement form looks like this. So it's self-explanatory. You enter the date and time, the resident's name, resident's unit, medication name that you're borrowing, strength and format, quantity used, and then you sign off. Once you've received the medication, The nurse receiving the replacement medication should sign off on this sheet and make sure that you're dating it. And then it gets faxed to pharmacy. So this is just the process that I just explained. So how to use emergency narcotic and controlled substances from the e-box. So on the current e-box, narcotic and controlled substances, you have to fill in the number of tablets, ampules, or vials removed, the resident's name for whom the medication has been used for, and the date, the count, and your signature. So important reminders when you're borrowing medications from the e-box. Always reorder used items right away after removing from the e-box. A list of e-box contents and how many are available should be posted on each nursing station. Take only what you need for your shift. Each nurse is responsible to carry out their own removal of medications from the e-box. Reorder medications using the e-box replacement form. Make sure you're faxing it to pharmacy. Ensure all order medication are being signed in as received. This allows for timely follow-up if anything is missed. Remember, the emergency medication are meant to be able to provide medications to all residents in the home. So this means that if it's after hours, you must call the after hours number and follow the steps to getting the residents' own supply in the home for them to use. It's to ensure that if multiple residents require the same medication, it will be available for them to use. So Celia is going to go through after hours. Anyway, Celia.
Okay. Thank you, Franca. So I'm going to go over the after hours process. So just a reminder, after hours is after the 3 p.m. cutoff. As you know, the daily processing cutoff time is 3 p.m. So anytime after the 3 p.m., that's when it goes to emergency after hours on weekends and on holidays. So for after hours, it is still the same telephone number that you're dialing. You just have to press option 1. I know we often get this question, what happens if I get an order at 3:05? If you get an order at 3:05 and you need it for that evening, please call pharmacy as soon as possible, right? The pharmacy is open 24/7. What just happens is the phone line is just diverted to the after hours team. We still have our teams processing orders. So if it's something you need, we'll try as much as possible to accommodate that request and to make sure it meets the delivery time and sent with the daily delivery. Just as a reminder for after hours, anything that comes through the after hours pharmacy must be entered into PCC by the nursing staff. So just a MedRec, which is MCMR. So as you know, these are the steps. The step 1 is, you send the notification to pharmacy. We ask that this notification form be sent to pharmacy by 3 p.m. 2 business days before the admission day. So for somebody coming in on Friday, we have to get that notification by Wednesday at 3 p.m., right? So step 2, the pharmacist will do the medication reconciliation. Step 3, we call the prescriber for authorization on the day of admission. And step 4 for medication delivery. I want to say in terms of contacting the prescriber, the date and the time is usually set 24 hours before. So a draft is also sent to the home. Yeah, so a draft is sent to the nursing station the day before, as well as the time of the call with the doctor is also set, right? So the pharmacist would always encourage the nurse or call the nurse as well to participate. But I know sometimes due to scheduling conflicts, nurses are unable to participate. If the nurse is unable to participate, the pharmacist and the prescriber are going to go ahead and do the call. And once that is done, the final draft will be sent to the home. I want to say the call pretty much is based on the prescribers. We try as much as possible to be flexible, but it's usually always determined by the prescriber's availability, right? If a doctor says I'm going to be available at 2, then that's when pharmacy is going to call. So I just wanted to highlight, this is the form that you're going to get once the 3-week call is completed. As you can see on the draft form, on the draft one that you get before the admission, obviously it's not going to be signed at the bottom. You won't have the prescriber's name and pharmacist's name. But once the 3-week call is done, The copy that you get is no longer a draft, it's the final version, and you can see that the prescriber's name and the pharmacist's name will be signed at the bottom. It would also list the sources of medication and information that was used to complete the BPMH. And if the indication and diagnosis are known, it's also going to be included. So the other question we get is, can this be used to reconcile when medications arrive? Yes, this copy can be used. We just recommend that you photocopy it first. One copy will go into the to be filed in the residence chart, and the other copy will be filed into the DRB. So that way the meds can be reconciled when they're delivered in the evening. So for readmission, it's still the same process. The only thing for readmission is we just need to be notified no later than 11 a.m. on the resident's day of readmission. We know residents coming back from hospitals is always a tricky thing, but if the home is informed and you want us to complete the medrec, we'll be more than willing to complete it. But I know most homes don't use the MCMR team for readmission, because the pre-populated readmission form is available from pharmacy, and you can just, the nurses can easily complete that. So that makes it easy. But if you would like the pharmacy to complete the readmission medrec as well, we're more than willing and happy to do it. We just have to be notified no later than 11 a.m. on the admission day. So again, the nurse, the pharmacist will contact the nurse and the prescriber. The orders will be received, and then will be signed off, and then the final copy will be sent to the nurse. Okay. And then the last thing I have is the hazardous policy update. So we recently updated our policy. This is coming into effect. I know Mississauga, for home service out of Mississauga, is gonna be November 22nd, and the homes, so Lakeshore, Kipling, and Westbourne, this will go in effect November 22nd. And for the Toronto homes, for the remainder seven homes, this is gonna go in effect on November 14th. So you might ask, why now? Why are we updating our policy? So we're updating our policy just to reflect the ongoing changes in hazardous medications classification. As you know, new drugs come into the market, and the list is usually currently being updated. So this change just reinforces our commitment to maintaining a safe environment for staff and patients, and also making sure we're aligned with industry and regulatory expectations. So in making up our list, we were very, very conservative. We took a conservative approach, and we used different sources. So the sources that we used the provincial list from Alberta and British Columbia. Ontario doesn't have one, that's why it's not included. We also used the NIOSH 2024 list, and we used drug monograph assessments. And the updated policy can be found on the client care portal. So what is changing? So in the past, we had a couple of drug classifications. So now we're just making to streamline it into two systems, right? We have the hazardous 1 category and the hazardous 2 classification. So anything that's hazardous 1 will be packaged in blister packs, or it will be left in the original packaging. So like your tubes, like your creams will all be left in the original packaging, and they would have a label of the cytotoxic handling. For hazardous 2 drugs, they will now be packaged in individual pouches, and you see, I'll show you a picture later, and it would have hazardous 2 handling. Again, anything that comes in the original package, creams and eye drops, will be left in their package, but they would have the stick on them. The other thing is reclassification notice. So due to these changes, some medications are now shifting classification. So you also notice this on the packaging as well. With the labels, all the labels are going to be changed immediately. But currently, there are some medications that are flagged in EMA. As we phase out this practice, there will be an interim period where, you might still have the flagging showing up in EMA. But the ask is to make sure you're checking the physical product. The physical product will have the actual label, right? So that's what you should be using to make sure you're handling these medications. And in terms of PPE changes, in the past, I think we had a couple of medications that were on the hazardous 2 list that could not be crushed, but now that is changing. So medications on the hazardous 2 list can be crushed, but we just ask you make sure you're wearing the proper PPE if you're going to be crushing these medications. Hazardous 1 class, the medications should not be crushed at all. So like I said, this is the updated list. The CPs will be sharing this list and it's also available on the client care portal. So the biggest change that we noticed on this is conjugated estrogens and semaglutide. Semaglutide is Ozempic. So these are the two biggest ones. Now they are moving from just your regular medications. Now they're moving to hazardous one, which means they require cytotoxic precautions when handling. A frequent question we get is why is semaglutide, why is Ozempic now being classified as hazardous? Like I said, we took a conservative approach. It is not listed on the NIOSH list because the NIOSH list that was released in December only had medications that were released into the market, I think from 2013 to 2014. Don't quote me on that, but Ozempic was came into the market in 2017, so that's why it wasn't included. But according to NIOSH definition, it is considered an hazardous drug because it's determined to be a carcinogenic hazard. And then the monograph itself also has a black box warning about the potential risk of it causing thyroid C-cell tumors. So because of these reasons, that was why we decided to move ahead and classify Ozempic as an hazardous one medication. So what is changing in terms of labeling? Like I mentioned, all the hazardous one drugs are going to have that cytotoxic label. I think in the current state right now, you get the medications with the black label and the red triangle. This is still going to be on some items. And then you also have that blue sticker that's going to be pre-printed and applied from pharmacy. Like I said, hazardous one medications should not be crushed. If you're going to be administering this medication, we recommend you wear double chemo or nitrile gloves for administration. For hazardous too, you're going to see the label. And like I said, each drug now is going to have its own pouch. It's going to be in its own pouch. And the medications can be crushed, but we just recommend if you're going to be crushing, make sure you're wearing exam gloves and mask to make sure you're protecting yourself. In terms of medication disposal, so still same thing, all regular medications. So anything with hazardous handling, which will be your hazardous too, they go in the regular sharps and the regular white buckets. But anything that's cytotoxic, which is, hazardous one, that would go in your red cytotoxic sharp containers. So moving forward, the needle tips that are used in administering the Ozempic dose would go in the red cytotoxic sharp containers. The syringes will go, and the syringes will go in the sharps as well. Your Premarin cream, once the tube is done, it's going to go in the red cytotoxic pill. Yeah. And finally, the reminders. Franca, you want to go over that?
Sure. So when processing orders, it requires two nurses to check. So first nurse checking is to make sure orders matches PCC entry. The second nurse checking is to verify that PCC entry matches the medication received. For order that has been discontinued, first nurse that's checking discontinues the order and PCC and remove medication for destruction. Second check confirms the correct order has been discontinued in PCC and ensure medication has been removed for destruction. Narcotics, make sure that you're documenting administered doses of narcotics on the individual count sheets once you've administered the medications, not before or not after your med pass. Narcotic shift count should be completed by 2 staff together. For injectables, make sure that you're removing vials, ampules from the box to assess for broken vials or ampules. For oral medications, when receiving them, make sure that you are inspecting blister cards for missing doses. You're making sure that all the information are correct on the individual count sheet. And once you've checked all that, you then sign off on the right top corner of the individual count sheet. And then keep a record of monthly narcotic audit. Complete the drug record book documentation, sign off medications received from pharmacy on the reorder sheet, avoid the use of ISMP and approved abbreviations and symbols, apply open date stickers to eye drops and creams, Shoot. Oh no, what happened there? And then for medication storage, store medication in original labeled package, ensure resident name label is intact on all medication, and remove expired and discontinued medications from MedCart and MedRoom. And that completes this education. Any questions?
You missed a couple just to apply the open date label on insulin pens.
Oh, I didn't see
That's
that.
yeah. Oh, okay.
That's
Maybe it's cut it off on the bottom.
yeah,
So
it's
now
cut
we'll
out.
I have a
open
Yes.
it.
question.
Yeah, yeah. We'll open it up
I
for
have a
questions. Go
question.
ahead. Yes.
Hi, I am Elena. About orders. Um, when doctor is going to order, we know already the safety protocol is to two nurses to confirm the order entered by pharmacy. So the first one is going to process it, and the second one will confirm that it's correct, right? Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you, Franca. Is that
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah, so first,
Okay.
like I
So
said,
one second. I didn't
yeah.
finish.
So
So, many times I notice the pharmacy is, for example, if the nurses will enter the order because the pharmacy was not available, the pharmacy next day will discontinue the order. I don't know why, even though it was correct, will be discontinued and replaced with a new one. And then that order stays pending, and then but the pharmacy does not inform the nursing staff that this order is pending, and sits there for a long time. Then because there are many orders, uh, many times goes missed this pending order. Plus, when it's pending, literally is a new order. Like the pharmacy introduces a new order that should be um, processed by two nurses again. One is going to confirm it. Two nurses should be confirming it because it's a new order. No matter what, it is a new order or is a duplicate one, right? It's not happening. I'm not sure if I made myself understood.
yeah, you kind
Uh,
of yeah. So you might think the order doesn't the pharmacy order. Why is pharmacy entering the second order? That's pretty much what you're saying.
Yeah,
So, but it's
so
just
it
to make
stays
sure. Yeah. So
pending. So
yeah,
me, if I have to confirm it, it's
yeah.
assumed that the order is correct already, but it's not because I have to confirm that it's correct. But to
Yes,
confirm it
exactly.
needs
Yeah,
again two nurses. Needs again two nurses,
to confirm it. Yeah.
right? But it's not happening.
Okay.
Do you want me to speak to that,
Yeah.
Celia?
Go
So
ahead.
that's
No, go ahead.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Hi everyone. Sorry, it's Stephanie. You guys probably don't know who I am, but I'm the director of clinical with Medisystem. I love the question. So that question, I think what you're referring to is if you, sorry, did you say if you guys enter the order, we go back and discontinue it and have to re-enter it?
Yes, that's what they're saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
So
yes.
yeah, so just so you guys understand, the one of the reasons we would do that is because what we're sending is different than what you or what you've entered into the EMAR. So, for example, you might the orders. I don't know what's the good example, Celia, like where
Say
some
maybe warfarin 3 milligrams. So they took
exactly
one times three tablets from the e-box, but
right.
then the next day pharmacy is going to be sending one 3 milligram tablet, right?
That's such a
Yeah.
good example.
Okay.
That's exactly
Yeah.
it. So
Right.
because what we enter, what is entered into the EMAR has to match exactly what we're sending. So if
Yeah.
you guys enter, yeah, exactly like Celia had said, you're entering 3 milligrams, and we're going to send something different, a different like either 1 2 and 1 1, or you guys have administered 3 1s and we're going to send a 3. So we'll
Yeah.
discontinue that order and re-enter it as we're going to send it. And that's actually a law for us. That's OCP. What we
Yeah, I
send
agree.
has
I
to
agree.
match
But
exactly. Yeah.
I
Huh?
agree. I do understand your explanation.
Uh-huh.
But the thing is, the order stays pending. We don't
Pending.
know about it, and also doesn't meet the safety protocol because this order has to be again confirmed by two nurses,
That's
but
right.
it's not happening. It's only one nurse confirming it.
So
And
I'm
then
not
I,
sure what
I
your
was
process
involved in
is.
such an error, and if it was a second nurse, let's say, one one nurse, let's say, is distracted and, will make an error. But a second nurse should be also confirming. So
Confirm.
the
Okay.
second one that you introduce it doesn't meet the safety protocol of two nurses confirming disorder. Plus, the disorder goes pending for a long time and we are not informed about it.
So I think, I'm not sure what the process is, but a lot of homes will, when the nurses come on shift, the first thing they do is check to see if there's any orders pending for confirmation.
But
That's
it's only one nurse confirming, but because it's a new order, has to be confirmed by two nurses, correct? And also, again, I'm repeating myself, it goes pending. Many nurses are complaining about it because if it's pending, you cannot administer the medication because it's pending, and we don't know about it. There are so many things where I got involved in resident care, but it will be great to have some communication between us, like nurses and pharmacy.
Yeah, I don't think it's feasible for us to reach out. And I'm sure you guys wouldn't want us to reach out every time we have to change orders. I think that would be a lot.
Well, we nurses are fully committed.
Checking to see what's there for
so-
confirmation and what's not for confirmation. Yes.
Yeah, as I said, there are not two nurses confirming the order and stays pending. There is no communication between us. So something has to be done about it. Because at the end, we are here to ensure safety for the residents.
Yeah, no, for sure. And so
It's
maybe
like-
that sounds like an internal process that you guys would have to figure out. I'm not sure if Charmaine or Kristen are on the phone, but that sounds like a workflow issue from your side probably that needs to be kind of figured out in terms of, who's doing what.
But
Other
also,
homes doing? How are other homes handling this?
I think they're confronted with the same problem and nobody says anything, just go with the flow, because that's what we did until now. And I don't want to get involved in such issue again.
Okay, I see Via has her hand up. I don't know if she has anything to contribute or if she has something different to say. Go ahead, Via. Yeah.
It's being carefree. So I would just like to confirm, when you say open date stickers, it's only applicable to eye drops, screens, and insulins, you said, right? Because currently we're putting open date stickers for each medication. So we would just like to confirm if we need to do that.
What other medications are you applying it to?
Any like lactulose, PEG, buffers.
Yeah, obviously puffers, puffers are you're supposed to be using within 30 days, right? So if it's something that's gonna be beyond 30 days, then you have to apply the sticker. So if it's like a salbutamol PRN inhaler, for example, right, you have to apply the sticker because it's not something you use very often, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so exactly.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Go ahead,
Fedin
Fidel.
said
Yeah.
something here about the pending orders. It says, she said, any pending orders will be shown under EMAR portal. Fedin.
Yeah, I think she
Fedin
has her
is-
hand up. Fedin has her hand up. Okay, go ahead, Fedin.
Hi,
Hi.
usually if we have a pending orders, we can see it on EMAR portal. We
Okay.
check the orders and whoever has a pending orders, we can see it from there and then we'll confirm it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Thank
is
you for
that your
that, Fedin.
practice? This is Lakeshore, right?
Usually, yes.
Okay.
But is it this pending order is confirmed by two nurses?
One nurse can take it.
Exactly. It's a new order. Has to be confirmed by two nurses. It's a new order. Otherwise, if the order is correct, should be done by only one nurse. But apparently, errors can happen. So has to be, from my opinion, the protocol has to be confirmed by two nurses. So I think the system has to change in a way to also comply with the safety protocols, right?
Yeah, okay. I think we'll have to take this offline and connect and so like Charmaine said, we're proposing to bring this to table at med management. We'll take that back. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Any other
Thank
questions?
you.
You're welcome.
Eileen says, after confirming the first and second, where are you going to sign if pharmacy enter an order? The next day after processing. What do you mean by this, Eileen? So you sign off on the order sheet. Is that what you meant? Where's Eileen? Eileen.
He said if the first and second check were already done. So I guess it still goes back to that to the first point, right? You know, we'll have to take this back because I understand what she's saying. If the first and second checks are already done and signed off, and now pharmacy enters a new order, so
Yeah.
I guess we have
Okay.
to send that back. Yeah, take that back.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you all for the great questions. I see we are over time. I apologize, we're a little bit over. Does anybody else have any questions or comments? Okay. The CPs are going to share a copy of this presentation, and then the recording is also going to be available for anybody to review at a time that is if they missed the presentation. So go ahead, Via.
Sorry, it's Natalia.
Oh,
Hello?
okay. Yeah.
Hi.
Oh, Natalia, you just went on mute.
No, I'm there. Maybe you
Okay.
mute me. You hear
No.
me? Okay. My question, when we will receive the presentation and also,
I will send it to you right now as soon as we're done.
oh, okay, excellent. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
You're welcome. Via, I see your hand up.
That's right. I have a question. My
Go ahead.
question is about medication orders that no, like when we're ordering medication, like let's say lactulose, um mouthwash, maybe eye drops. Yes, sometimes we don't get them and we need them because we see what's on the card. You guys don't see what's on the card. We see what's not there and what's there. But we get like that pink slip that tells us that it's too early to order. So our residents end up not getting. And now you're saying that we shouldn't borrow. We understand. But what do we give to our residents? Because they need it. We don't want them to get constipated.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. So if it's an issue of a medication coming in too early or whatever, I recommend that you follow up with pharmacy. You know, we can always make that adjustment and make sure the medication is sent. We don't want the residents going without, but in that situation, I advise that please follow up with a phone call to say, okay, I really need this medication. We'll try as much as possible to accommodate and send. Definitely, the goal is not to have residents without, but you just have to make sure, you know, you're informing us to like, you know, I need this eye drops, I need this lactulose, please make sure you send it. Feden, I see your hand up.
Hi, we just have a question. We just scheduled Ozempic and Risperdal every 2 weeks. Are you guys automatically sending us or we need to reorder it?
No, it's on the auto refill list, so you should be automatically getting it. You don't need to reorder.
Thank you.
Somebody was saying something about stickers. Okay, if nobody else, yeah, go ahead.
I think Fedin got cut off.
Yeah.
Then it should not have a reorder sticker. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The auto refill medications should not have reorder stickers. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Fedin.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you for your time. Apologies for running over. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Have a great day,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.